Am I the a-hole for telling my boyfriend he shouldn't take his girl best friend for couple's costume for Halloween? My boyfriend, 26M, and I, 23F, have been together for 8 months now. In that time, he's always been very kind to me. He's never raised his voice or lost his temper with me, which is something I really appreciate about him. Early on in our relationship, he introduced me to his close group of friends. They've all known each other since they were in nursery school, and they were always very welcoming and friendly towards me. I've never doubted his relationships with his friends or felt any need to be suspicious about them, and I didn't want to be the jealous new girlfriend who could potentially ruin those long-standing friendships. Among these friends is a girl named Vivian, not her real name. Vivian is part of his core friend group, along with 2 other guys. Every year, the 4 of them get really excited about Halloween. They plan months in advance for it, coming up with elaborate costumes and celebrating together. I know how much my boyfriend enjoys Halloween because we share that interest. It's one of the many things we have in common, and I've always thought that was something special between us. However, I've always let him enjoy his traditions with his friends, even if I wasn't directly involved. This year, my boyfriend's workplace is throwing a Halloween party, as they do every year. He usually attends with one of his friends, and this time it was Vivian's turn to go with him because last year he went with his friend Tom. He told me they've already planned their couple's costumes together, something they've done in the past as part of their shared love for Halloween. I didn't want to seem controlling or possessive, but it did bother me a little. It wasn't about Vivian herself. I had no reason to suspect anything inappropriate. But the fact that my boyfriend, knowing how much I love Halloween too, never once asked if I'd like to go with him made me feel left out. He and Vivian had started planning for Halloween months ago, back when we were already dating, and not once did he mention it to me or ask if I wanted to be part of those plans. I wasn't expecting him to drop everything for me, but I thought he could at least consider involving me in something we both enjoy. 2 days ago, he mentioned casually that he and Vivian had finished putting their couple's costumes together and asked if I wanted to see them. I didn't react as enthusiastically as I probably should have, and I think he noticed because he immediately asked me what was wrong. I tried to be honest and told him that it hurt a little that he hadn't even thought to ask if I wanted to go with him. He didn't get upset, but he did say something that stung. He told me that he wasn't going to change his traditions with his friends for our relationship and that I had known about these plans from early on. I get that his friendships are important, but it felt like he was dismissing my feelings entirely. I told him that what he said hurt me, and after that, he didn't say much. He just gave me the silent treatment. I've never wanted him to abandon his friends or give up his plans for me. In fact, I've always been supportive when he goes off to do things like escape rooms with Vivian or hiking with Tom. I'm happy that he has his own interests and spends time with his friends. The only reason I felt hurt this time was that Halloween is something we both love, and it felt like we could have shared that experience. Now I feel like I overstepped and I'm second-guessing myself. Did I overreact? Am I the one in the wrong for feeling this way? Update 1. He apologized, but in the end, we broke up. It wasn't what I wanted at all. I didn't think a disagreement over Halloween would lead to this. But after we talked, he told me that he realized he wasn't able to give me the kind of attention and care I deserved. He also said that Vivian deserved better, which threw me off completely. I asked him point blank if there was something going on between him and Vivian. His response was both shocking and heartbreaking. He admitted that he was in love with her. Some people who reached out to me had guessed this, but I didn't want to believe it. He told me that Vivian had no idea about his feelings and that he had been too much of a coward to tell her. Meanwhile, I was sitting there, devastated and crying, feeling like my heart was being ripped out of my chest. All the while, he was explaining to me the long history they had together and how he was never able to confess his feelings to her. In that moment, I realized I had been just as much of a coward. I never asked him if he actually liked me as more than just a placeholder. I've been feeling like a complete wreck ever since. I had to take sick leave this week because I just couldn't function properly. And thankfully, my professors have been understanding. But inside, I keep replaying everything that happened, wondering if it was my fault. I didn't want him to not go with Vivian to the party. I just wanted to know why he hadn't even thought about taking me along once in nearly a year of dating. Logically, I know this breakup was for the best. I know it wasn't my fault, but I can't stop blaming myself for opening my mouth in the first place. My friends are encouraging me to go to therapy, but with grad school and all the emotional turmoil I'm in right now, I don't even know how to start dealing with this. Part of me wants to yell at him for wasting my time and playing with my emotions, even though he cried and apologized, telling me I deserved someone better. I know I do, but it still feels like Vivian won, even if she doesn't know anything about this situation. It's not her fault at all, but I'm left feeling like I was second choice, And it hurts so much more because of that. I'm trying to hold it together, but I feel lost and unsure of what to do next.